Okay. What's going on, Andy? How are you, bud?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just living here in Allentown. I'm knocking all the bookies around. They keep shutting me down, because I'm beating up bookies. Oh, buddy, how are you? Hey, tattoos. Hey,
that's right.
Let's see, before we get today's show underway, let's see where the progress of the Ink Man.
Here we go.
The Flash Man, now known as the Ink Man. Look at that stuff.
We got
That's
skull.
painful.
We got some filigree.
That sure looked painful, Andy.
It's crazy. Shout out to my local tattoo artist, Nick Kaiser, out of Into the Sun Tattoo, Phoenixville, Pennsylvania.
There you go. There's that. How much more steps do you have to that thing?
God.
It's a work in progress.
16 to 20 more hours.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
What is that, like a 100-hour job there?
I mean, it's super detailed, and we still have to color, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass.
What part was the most painful here?
My elbow, and the elbow.
Here we go. He's also Andy's a
terrible.
part-time stripper. It looks like.
Yeah. So here's my elbow. That is the worst thing I.
There's a
ever
lot of
felt.
guys that appreciate that are watching this, especially Coco's buddies, the Mad Flavor fans.
Oh, absolutely, and like I said, me and the jiu-jitsu guys were all about tattoos and all that.
The jiu-jitsu guys.
Shout out to
the cult.
My boys and finishers.
How'd your boy do Friday night at the Sands, the 25th?
Dude, he beat the shit out of this guy.
Good,
He's
good. How many fights were there? I didn't get a chance to get out there.
There was about 6 fights. But Thaddeus, my man, he
So he was one of only 5 fights that night.
Yes,
okay.
And it's his second pro fight, and he absolutely crushed. I'm super proud of him, and since I've been getting tattooed, I can't see all of my.
You're gonna put a picture of your boy on you, Andy?
Jiu-Jitsu brothers, but
the Karate Kids.
I'll show you a pic. There's Thad.
I can't see. I guess
with
I'll
a
watch
punch
it.
to the face.
I'll watch it on the replay of it.
Yep.
The video replay.
And you guys could follow him at Thaddeus Frick, Frick via Instagram. And he's like I said, he's an amazing fighter. I roll with him a lot whenever he's there because he's one of the more strong dudes.
That's not all you're rolling, Andy, these days. I understand you're rolling a little bit more than the fellas.
I know it.
Hey, you know what? We're going to be hearing from AC, who had a great weekend, and this guy's pretty sharp. I like the kid. And
yeah, powerful show on
He's going to have his early market report, gaming report, if you will. This guy's a numbers guy. I don't have time for all that research.
He's a bit of a Rain Man, if you will.
There's a lot of young, I'm telling you, man. I'm 51, man, and there's a lot of us older guys that rely on these young kids because this computer stuff. My young boy got on one of my computers yesterday, and I'm at the office, and I'm having problems at the office with my internet. I call my wife. I'm like, this freaking new kid's a pain in the ass. She's like, yeah, you think that's bad? I had to spend $200 cleaning out Jace's mess last night.
Oh.
Jace Thomas, my little problem child. But yeah, this AC, he's a sharp kid. He'll be joining us shortly. We're going to give out some free plays, early plays. We're going to be back on air live again Friday, Andy. We're going to do the show 12 o'clock. You have a wedding to attend, not your own, by the way.
Yes. Married once. Don't plan on doing it again.
You're still married, though.
Yeah, still married.
14 years with the same woman. That's a statement.
That's powerful.
13 married, 14 together. She moved in, my first date was October 4th, 99. She moved in October 5th, 99.
Oh.
I'm serious. She didn't leave, and she hasn't left, and she ain't going nowhere. And I've had this boy here since May of...
Mosey Mose.
98, Mose? You're born in 97. Say something for once, you bastard. But anyway, Ace is going to break down some early market reports. Your Steelers looked like crap yesterday. They made a nice try, a nice comeback towards the end, but they fell short.
You know, they played the Raiders.
That's one of the games that we did lose the total on that one.
They're just sloppy this year, man.
Should have went over, though.
I don't understand. It's like one of those things you could spin.
And they're playing. I think they're playing. They got New England this weekend, which is not going to be easy.
C'est la vie.
And New England, they made a nice comeback. They weren't looking too good against Miami. Crazy weekend, and you don't know nothing about the BCS bowls and all that stuff. It's kind of the power ratings, the rankings, and all that stuff. But it's week 2 now with the BCS, and this is the last year of the BCS, and some other time I'll spend talking
Yes.
because I don't want to waste, nor do I have the time or the patience to explain it to you. So we're going to go over the top 10 BCS, maybe some plays or some projected numbers that are going to change, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so anyway, so it's a busy week. And you know what? We're also going to talk about this new exciting program. We haven't launched it yet. We still have to fine-tune it.
Okay.
Looking to start November 1, where it's only going to be $1 a day to track us. $1 a day. It's $30 a month. $90 for 3 months. No registration fees. It's going to be beautiful because you're going to be able to track. Look at me. Look at my face. You're going to be able to track me. You're going to be able to track other players, young guys. You know, the veterans are very good out there, and obviously their experience helps, but you can't take nothing away from you young guys, Andy.
That's right.
I admire you. You know, I'm feeling the aches and pains. I got back from the gym. It's just not the same, brother. Don't get old. My free play today is don't get old. And another free play I gave out was the Patriots.
Oh, boom.
So what is that, 3 straight for me? You started with the Steelers.
Yes.
And then last week, I had the winner of last week, the Giants on Monday. There you go. I went bold. And the Patriots for this Sunday. So, you know what? It's been good. It's been fun. And basketball starts tomorrow. Do you follow basketball at all, Andrew?
Guess what?
Hold on. I got a text here.
Oh, let's see.
Go ahead. Talk a little. Kill some time.
Not a big,
look at me.
b-ball guy. But
heard you.
It's mainly the jiu-jitsu, man. I can't get enough of this stuff. Break my arms, choke me out, break my legs.
Twist me up. Yeah, that was a pretty important text. I'll have to get to that, though, later. Because the show must go on.
The show must go on.
But yeah, so AC will be joining us shortly in between jobs. He's out on Wall Street. Graduate of Penn State.
I couldn't imagine.
I like the kid. The
guy's a baller.
There's a few kids out there I've been tracking, and one of them's Ty.
Okay.
Another one's Trey. Ty and Trey, Dyna TNT, Dynamite. AC's kids have been coming to me looking for me to help launch them. And I'm at that point where I can and I want to. I'm having fun with the podcast. The radio show does well. You know, I do this kind of for fun, but this $1 a day membership, I feel it's going to be a great thing. It's going to be a hit.
And I think it's
affordable, too. We got all of the guys out there because there's more guys, Andy, that can't afford, big bets. They're 25, and that's fine. And this is perfect for you guys.
Yeah, and I was just
it's quality. It's quality stuff. It's not just garbage.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. The lines are accurate, and and then there's me. And if you want to work with me, it just cost a little bit more because my time is money, and I've been around longer than anybody.
Absolutely.
But needless to say, we'll be hearing from the fellas here throughout the week too. Yeah. We're going to hear probably from Trey or Ty on Friday. But AC is going to bring his early market report here shortly. Joining us. He should be joining us any minute now.
Yeah, any minute. I was just going to say, for the $1 membership thing, it's definitely something that a guy like myself or people
listen,
like
even
me,
if you want to bet the other way, I don't care. Maybe you don't agree, but look at it, compare it, and if you don't agree, go the other way. It's just like, some people.
And I've said this a bunch. You want to be an informed bettor. Right? And for $1 a day, I mean, there's no reason why you can't get
$30 a month. Maybe you guys blow that.
Get a little bit more informed and at least make an informed decision instead of just going with your gut or rooting for the team that's your favorite.
Well, these kids put in a lot of research. I track the guys. I'm very connected with the Caribbean and the bookies. Everybody knows that. I've been doing this long. I've had some great guests on my show. I've been in touch. I've had NBA refs. I've had wise guys. I've had this is good stuff here. experience.
You're connected to some of the greatest. Connected to some of the greatest people in this business.
They shave their mustache.
The network is where
it's good, man. It's good though.
Get the shine.
And I had a long week because I got into the office. It feels good though. I've been working a lot out of my house the last several years since my young guy's been a handful. Honestly, I'm not trying to cry because you guys can relate. There's one kid's good. The other kid's. He's not a bad kid. He's just hell on wheels.
He don't stop.
No, you see him. He's a man. So, and I got offices up in Hoboken still. I got him out in Long Island, down in Florida, down in California. I work out of my house too part time. This is the studio, but my studio in my basement is nicer than most offices you can go to.
Yeah.
It is. I just can't have people in my freaking house.
As soon as you walk down here, it's
it's nice.
Business.
Yeah, it's nice. I feel homey. And my office down the block. It's right down the block. I can walk there. That's cool. And
Here in Allentown,
yeah. They make fun of Allentown, but this is there's gamblers all over this place.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
Here we go. AC, what's going on, brother?
My man.
Hey, Danny, B, and Andy, how you guys doing?
How are you, my friend, the Wizard of Odds? Hey, I like that, the Wizard of Odds. AC, the Wizard of Odds, not the Wizard of Oz, which my kid is currently watching upstairs. The powerful, the mystique. AC, we did a good job. Yeah, I'm just having some fun, buddy.
Yeah, I can't complain. I just got back from Del Frisco's in Midtown.
Oh, sounds good.
What is that joint again? I didn't hear you. Del what? Del Fredo's?
It's called Del Frisco Steakhouse.
Oh, some steak, some red meat to start your day.
Powerful red meat.
Slows you down.
You gotta start the week off right with the winnings.
Yeah, well, it was a nice weekend, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I started to talk, me and Andy, before you tuned in, we're talking about, it's not official yet, but it'll happen November 1st. We're going to launch our $1-a-day program. For years now, you've been on the forums, and you got great followers, and you've done a great job. But we're putting something together. Excuse me. Let me get this out. Thank you. I had to burp there. Where they can track yourself, myself, and other cappers, and guys that are sharp. And for $1 a day, I know you're excited about this because for years you've never monetized your skills, but it's time, and you can still do your thing on the forums. But tell you what, we got a great response from your first show.
Oh,
that was a good response. And we did have technical problems, so God only knows the response, what it would have been. Are we okay? Is anybody out there,
We're
no
good.
one?
I checked the feed.
Yeah, we feeding good, the playback and all that
I'll check
shit.
it again,
Yeah, gotta
so
watch
far,
this
so
kid.
good.
Gotta watch this kid. But it was a great response, and you started off last night. Even we tweeted out the second half. Take the Packers -3.5. I think our only bad call, and it should have went over, was the Oakland-Pittsburgh game. That was 24 points at the half, and Oakland had no offense in the second half, right? We had a good weekend. South Carolina you gave out. Patriots. Who else did you? And you had some people email you, which was good, AC. How does it feel to get people some love from Danny B here? Huh?
We started out with Texas A&M. I got a few emails, and I said put Big Ned in, start the weekend off on a Texas A&M. They pretty much blew them out. They were up by, I think, 28 early in that game. I turned it off.
Yeah, then it came. Tightened up a little.
Yeah, Vanderbilt gets an onside kick and they score a touchdown. They cut it to 18. So, they made it look like a little closer than it should have been. It should have been a 60-point game.
But the bottom line is they pulled away. They covered. You also said on the show South Kakalaka, South Carolina. And my experts on my AM show, well, they're not experts. They're just analysts. You see, that most of you guys on ESPN and all that, they're very good, but they're not gamblers.
They don't put
the guys
money down.
The guys that work for me on the AM show, they know the numbers. They can do breakdowns. One works for Fox Sports, the other one for ESPN. And they're very good, but they're not gamblers. When I mean, they'll bet $50, $100, but they're not gamblers.
They're not dropping dimes.
They're not gamblers. But you look at things differently. You're all about the numbers, and you've had a lot of success in a short amount of time. You were not even in college when I was in this business in '94. What year were you born?
I was born in '86.
Oh, the year the Mets won the World Series.
Powerful.
Behind the bag, and yes, there will be a Game 7.
Is that even possible? Can the Mets even win the World Series?
Hey! That was a good team, man. They had a good team back there. They were all party animals. I remember those were good times. Yeah, they were good for a bit, but now they ain't much to talk about. But we have NBA starting tomorrow. Huh? NBA? You like that? How's your skills in the NBA? Do you follow the same principles? What's your approach with basketball versus football?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough way to cap because it's every night. It's kind of like baseball. And the lines are really sharp because, they take so much action daily. But since there's so many games, just like baseball, there's obviously a lot of room to take advantage of the books because if you think about it, a team might play on a Tuesday night and the books have to come up with a line the next morning on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, for the most part, I'd say 20% of the games are off. 80% are pretty damn close, but it's a great way to clean up daily. And I kind of like it because you get a lot of week action. During football, you stick to the weekends. You have, play on Tuesday, play on Thursday. But, I mean, this is just an everyday way to just smash the books.
Well, here's the problem, though. A lot of guys get into trouble because there's a lot of temptation. Usually football, you're pretty safe. You have to wait to the weekends in most cases, but now you have day-to-day action. This is where a bad bet can turn into a disaster. the same time, it presents opportunities. I've had most success last couple of years in basketball, college and pro versus football. Call it what you want, but we've done better in basketball than we have in football. You got something we want to talk about? Let's get to meat potatoes. Early market reports. You like to call it your early opening market report. What is something sticking out already? I mean, I'm looking at the BCS games, the matchups. Ain't much going on except for Miami and Florida State. Florida State's a 3-touchdown favorite or better, 22. That's pretty off. Number 3 playing number 7. What else is nothing really? It's a horrible weekend really as far as matchups, but there's some soft lines out there, correct?
Yeah, there's definitely some soft lines. As you said, there is some BCS implications, but not for the national championship. I mean, there's a lot of conference matchups with some top teams, but it's mostly 3 versus 4 within the conference, and we have Oklahoma State's on the road to take on Texas Tech, who just came off that loss against Oklahoma, which we called last week on the show.
Yes.
And there's also there's a couple Big Ten matchups. One of my plays that I already sent out to some of my clients, I have a Big Ten play of the week. I mean, I really like this play. I think the line's going to continue to move up. But there's also another Big Ten game where I'm looking into with Michigan and Michigan State.
Okay.
That'll be a good game. I mean, that's always comes down to the wire. I think Michigan State opened as over field goal favorites. I think they're -5 at home. So, I mean, there's a couple of the games, and as you said, you're not seeing the big dogs like Oregon or Alabama playing this week.
Well, yeah, that's what most bettors enjoy, the big primetime eye candy games, but there's always room for, there's always opportunities. And again, I'm just looking at the matchups. Ohio State, number 4, they're playing Purdue laying 31. Georgia and Florida, SEC game. That should be a good game. Georgia opened up at 2.5. Missouri's playing Tennessee. Tennessee got smoked against Bama. Clemson, who let me down on 9 seconds left in the game against Maryland. I can't stand them. I can't stand losing like. I'd rather get blown out than lose like that. I'd rather, honestly, cut my throat. Just go into the ham and take the knife and stick it right here. That was it's Sopranos, right? Just go into the ham. No, that's I watched it. I'm like, come on. But overall, it was a nice weekend. Finished off the weekend strong. You know what? And it's been just fun. I've had great guests: Philly Godfather, Coco Diaz, Sir Ivan, Joey Odessa.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy the Sheep was on. We've had some real good guests on the show, and I'm hoping to get more and more. I'm gonna showcase new talent. Guys have been trying. I've been trying to figure out how to do this. AC, it's not easy. Everybody's got their thing. This is my full-time gig. You're a stockbroker. Most of these kids out there that are very good handicappers, they're not doing it full-time, And for me, it's a full-time commitment. So I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate all the young talent out there and give the betting public a chance to follow some of the sharper young kids as well as some of the experienced guys for good value. So your thoughts on the $1 a day thing we discussed? I'm excited about it. It's affordable for everybody, AC.
No, I like it. I think we'll get a lot of attention with that. I mean, you're not really asking for a lot of money up front, especially if you're just taking it out monthly. I mean, that comes to $30 a month, and you're getting access to a bunch of good cappers. And the other thing that you commented on, which I think is pretty interesting, is the fact that you're right. It's really tough to pick winners daily. And you'll see a lot of the guys I've noticed on the forum, they decide they have success giving out their picks for free. Mm-hmm. And once they start selling them, it changes your whole mindset. You just start looking for winners,
yep.
Sure winners. And it doesn't work out the way you like because you just play a little tighter because you force some plays. But that's why you got to have the right mindset. And you got to statistically back up your plays weekly.
You know what? And that's a good thing. When push comes to shove and the pressure's on, do they choke? Because now you're trying sometimes too hard. Coco said that to me. He goes, Dan, you're a funny dude. He goes, you're funny. But how funny would you be in front of 300 or 400 people?
Yeah.
Because the pressure's on, I'd probably sit there and humming, So the pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? And even myself, when I got a guy that's moving big money, I go out of my way to do, and sometimes it backfires because pressure. Some people submit to pressure or subdue. What's the word?
Submit to pressure.
Uh-oh. And I'm living here in Allentown, beating bookies around. They keep shutting us down. And I love that song. I think that's going to be the new theme song.
That's good.
Billy Joe. Hey, listen, so what's going on with you this weekend? NFL, buddy. NFL, you want to talk about one game particular? Friday, we're going to really tighten up the show because we're closer to kickoff. But, I mean, early projections, early plays, maybe throw out a free play or something now. And
yeah, sure.
What's on your plate?
So, I mean, just looking at last week, I'm sure you noticed that Vegas really took a hit. I mean, I think, looking at my numbers here, it looks like 7-1 on the heavy public favorites actually hit. Mm-hmm. I mean, all those big spreads like San Fran, Saints, Denver, Bengals, New England, they all covered. So I know the books took a huge hit this week. It's been all over Twitter and all over the ESPN and internet.
Right.
And I think we're going to see some bounce back this next week. Actually, if you look at the opening market report and look at the lines for next week,
right,
there's a lot of these same teams that cover the huge spread. Now they're laying under a field goal on the road.
Okay.
So, I mean, the storyline for this week is a lot of public dogs. Or actually, we don't know if it's public yet because people are still putting their bets, but there's a lot of low dogs on at home. So we'll see how that works out. I already eyed up a spot. I like the Texans next week. I know I went to them 2 weeks ago, but I think the Indianapolis is coming off that huge win against Denver.
Okay.
Now they're laying under a field goal down in Houston, and I like this kid Keenum. I think I'm going to continue to ride him until he shows some fall.
Wow, that's pretty bold. You know, that line opened up at -1 Texans, and now it's Colts -2. What I'm seeing, it can vary, of course. Pretty bold. Texas has looked like crap all year long, and surprising because they had a great offense. What was it, last year or the year before? They had a ton of yardage per game. New England, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh goes out on the West Coast. They make a nice comeback. That's the one only I was saying to Andy. We lost that one. That should have went over. I was talking to you about that, too, because you liked Oakland in that. They did cover, and you liked the over in that one. And overall, it was a really good weekend. You made a nice debut on, I know you've been doing this for the forums. Which forum do you really like or you prefer to be on? What's your favorite forum? Do you have one?
Well, they've definitely changed over the years. I think I've always liked covers the best just because you get a lot of new people in there. And there's a couple people that have been there for 10 years that I know are respected in the industry. And I like the way it's easy to access. They actually cut down recently on their advertising, so changed a little bit. A lot of people have left and gone to Twitter.
Twitter seems to be the
best.
Yeah, Twitter seems to be the new approach to this stuff. You know, I dabble in it. Don't know what I'm doing with it. Let's be honest with you. I just don't know. I don't know. But I don't care either. I'm just having fun. This is what it does. This is fun for me. I've made my money. I'm shutting all the book. That's the song. I shut up.
And AC, you've been very, very well received.
Yes.
For the crowd. I mean, we have it's one of our top rated shows so far, and
it started off sluggish. Yeah, it did. But
we were saying you're a bit of a Rain Man of sorts of the sports world.
Well, I like that. You know, we've heard from the veterans earlier in the year, the Philly Godfather,
who obviously get some young blood though.
Obviously, Philly Godfather, very respected in the business. But there's young talent out there too, and they have a little different angle. Everybody, whatever works for you, you know, that's the beauty of this. But unfortunately, it doesn't work for most people, and you know that. Be honest with yourself. That's why I want everybody to follow what we're doing here. You know, whether you agree or disagree.
Last year, final play.
What the hell is that?
Family Turkey Bowl.
What is that? What the hell is this? See, I knew you were going to do something. I knew it. Just AC. Just leave it up. A pop. Just leave it up to.
No worry.
Andy, are you goofing on Danny? But what was I started. I hit them a little song there. But for the $1 a day, I mean, whether you go against us or follow us, you agree. I mean, it's a good comparison. It is going to be more than one game up there per day. Multi-games, starting off probably Friday with AC. And then we're going to add Ty and Trey and myself. A little smorgasbord of... I got to work out the kinks, though, but make sure you tune into DannyBWins.com.
That's right. We're building a large network.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm about. I want it to be affordable. I want everybody to make some money. And if there's any questions they have, they can always get on the phone with me. Maybe the odds are changing or you have a question. So this is going to be good. I really feel that it's going to be received well because I'm going to push it hard on radio. And I have, you know, my podcast doesn't have thousands of people viewing us. But my AM radio shows do.
That's right.
You know, and I do a lot of podcasts with others. So, yeah, I have a nice network to push the $1 a day. I follow one, which is Coco. He's the only one I'm going to follow on Twitter.
That's right.
I don't want anybody to take it personal. It's nothing. I follow one and answer to none.
Oh.
That's going to be my motto.
I love it.
Follow one, answer to none, and I only charge $1 a day. I like that.
That's great.
1 and 1. It's going to be fun. I'm telling you what. Going to do a lot of good things here. What do you got? A dog in the backyard with you? Is that an attack dog? What do you got there, bud?
No, there's some people walking around town with their dogs. There's a big pit bull just walked by me.
Oh, man, don't make sure you don't get bit. I need you healthier this weekend. Dude, you ever get bit?
Yeah, I'll try.
You ever
I'll try to stay away. There's a lot of lunatics around here in New York.
Yeah, you like the city? I mean, you were raised in Atlantic City. Do you like New York City?
Yeah, I mean, there's always something to do. I like just walking around town, seeing people. There's always something going on, whether it's a free concert out in the street, someone acting like a fool pits in the middle of the street. There's always something going on. I like it.
There's always Go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when you come into Atlantic City, it's a city that never sleeps. That's not even close to true compared to here in New York.
Oh. I know. Vegas is fun all night long. Atlantic City's pretty boring after a certain time, but New York City, it doesn't matter. You just sit there and you'll find something.
It's the greatest.
You just watch and you wait, whether you drink a beer or smoke a joint, whatever. Something fun will happen. Totally. Before you least expect it. When the last time I was in the city to see Coco, I called it the Close That Window tour. They were yelling at the Chinese guy.
Yeah.
Just before that, though, some guy's just ranting down the street. It was hysterical. I'm talking to Coco, and he's like, what the hell is this shit coming?
Oh, yeah.
Little guy on a mission just cursing. Funny as hell. But, yeah, there's always something going on in New York City. Too much for me, though.
Oh.
It's too crazy for me. I don't have the patience for that. My office is like a quarter mile away, and I can't. It takes me forever to get there. I just don't have the patience.
I traveled the country twice on road trips, and I've been to many, many cities. But every time I go to New York, it is just the greatest place on earth. I mean, it's amazing. There's never anything not to do.
There's always something.
The food is fucking phenomenal.
It
you can
depends
find anything.
Yeah, you can, but I don't know. There's good food everywhere. You just got to look for it. You know what? Let's talk real quick. Here's a crazy game tonight. 6 opens up at 6 Seattle. It's up to 13. Total went from 46 to 44. Bradford is out. Any thoughts on tonight's game, since we do have a lot of people tuning in? I personally don't really like the game, so I'm going to ask you, if you had to make a move tonight, what would that move be? Seattle, the under, the Rams? Tell me, Clarice, have the Rams stopped scoring yet? Go ahead.
Yes. So, I think the line would have been around -7.5, -7 if Mr. Bradford was playing.
Right.
But since he's out, it opened at 10.5, and it's all the way up to 14 on a couple books.
14.
The over, I think, would have opened at like 48, 49 if Bradford was playing. It opened at 42, and now we're seeing 44 some places. And I'm reading that I think 85, 90% of the money is on Seattle. So we might even see it go up to 14.5. You might be able to get a 2-touchdown dog play on St. Louis. And our old friend from the Jets is actually QBing tonight, Mr. Clemens.
Oh.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't think he's going to be able to do much against the Seattle D. But if I had to take a gun to my head and I had 14.5, I would take St. Louis and ride with the books because, after seeing 7-1 on the heavy favorite this week, you got to play with them here.
Yeah, that's true. There is the do factor involved, and at home plus 14 looks appetizing. 14.5 looks better. Say if you took, hypothetically, in a game like this, if you wanted to play side and total, you take the under with the dog or the over with the dog. What's your approach to that?
Well, I think that based on the averages, you're looking at Seattle might put up about 28 points, just based on because they're averaging 30 points a game. St. Louis has given up about 27. So the question is, which comes down to the line and the over-under. Do I think St. Louis can put up 2 touchdowns this game? We saw last night that the Vikings had a kick return touchdown, and you never know. Mr. Clemens sometimes can get hot. He might connect for a nice touchdown to Pettis or something in red zone. So I would have to say, based on the movement, I would go with the over.
So the Rams and the over, safe bet. You should split out. Worst case scenario, you hope to, but you're not trying to play for this split. There's guys that like action. There's guys that only want a handful of games a day. Your style, what do you like? I've seen guys put up 20 games a day on a website. What do you prefer? What's your style? One game, say basketball. How many plays on a basketball night would you give out?
Well, college basketball is one of my best sports. I'd say that with the 2 footballs. Because NBA, I mean, it's a grind. You have to play I play 2 max a night in NBA.
Okay.
But in college basketball on the weekend, I'll play like a typical college football day. I'll play, the 12 o'clock slate of games. I might play 3 games, and at 3:30 I might play 3, and then maybe 2 night games.
Okay.
Depending how we're doing for the day. So, I mean, it really varies by sport, but listen, to me, if there's an advantage, I'll fire on it. If there's no advantage, I won't play it. That's my theory.
That's well said. I mean, but I deal with a lot of people that don't want to bet every day. That's not in their makeup. They just want to. They say, Dan, just give me your top 10 plays over the course of a couple of weeks, and I'll live with that. And that's a little bit easier because what do you think about it? If you sat back, it's hard to hit over 60% if you're playing every day. You know that. But if you were to sit back and you pick and chose your spots, say if you were to give out your top 10 games in a month, can you increase your percentages that way, or would you be less accurate? Your thoughts on that? If I said, okay, I see what you do playing date. This is a good trivia. If I told you, give me your best every day, and then just give me your top 10 of the month, you think you can raise your averages just being selective, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we stuck to that and played 2 a week, let's say, so that's eight 9 plays.
Yep, your 2 top plays or 3 top plays a week. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
I think we'll hit near let's say there's 10 plays, right? I think we could hit 8 if we just play those 8. But as you said, there's no way you're just going to be able to fine-tune it to those 8 plays. And people want action every day, so you have to expand it out a little bit.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
you're right.
My theory is that you hit above 60% with volume plays. That's a hell of a percentage.
That's good. Volume plays, because you're right. I know a lot of players. If I tell them this is it for the day, they're like, what? You have none to ring in my phone? And then that's when the pressure's on, because I'm like, well, if you ask, I take this. It's not make your money, take a step back, wait. That's what I prefer. But whatever works for you, whatever your style is, that's why this program that we're ready to launch here, we're going to wind down this show. We're going to make these shows a little shorter unless we have extra guests. Please slap me in the head because I had a brain fart again. Well, but basically, the $1 a day program is going to be good. Whether you play the games or just look at them, gives you a chance. I'm not just throwing anybody up there that doesn't have a proven track. Come on in.
Only the
Come
best.
in. This guy's proven himself. Trey and Ty, they've proven themselves on Twitter and other accounts. So I'm going to put these guys to test. I'm going to throw my stuff in there. We're going to make this fun. We're going to make it affordable. And we're going to make it lucrative. So let's throw out the free play tonight. If you had to, would be if you can get the Rams up to 14.5. Take that, and the over is a good choice. You like the Texans so far on Sunday night. Texans on. Is there a college move that you can throw out there right now? And then maybe Friday you might throw another one out. We don't want to throw too many out there. But what do you think in college this weekend off the cuff before the show ends?
Yeah, I like Tennessee to bounce back on the road in Missouri. I think Missouri, after coming off that loss to South Carolina, which we called, and Tennessee coming off that blowout, as you said earlier, I think they're going to find a way to bounce back. I think Missouri, when you think about it, when you lose a big game, you lose your mind a little bit. I don't think they can come back with that firepower. But we'll see how the line moves, and we'll come back on Friday after that. I wouldn't buy it at this rate, because you never know. We'll see if it moves up to 14 or 10. It's right in the middle right now.
Right. Yeah. I got you. No.
And I got a couple other plays, but I want to see how they move. And as I said, I have a Big Ten play of the year, which I think would be one of those 10.
Okay.
That I think it's definitely going to hit.
All right. Well, we have Friday. Are you free Friday about noon? No, because we're going to do this show early on Friday.
Yeah, I should be. I'll see if I have any client meetings, but if not, I'll definitely be able to.
Yeah. Well, if not, you just fill me in and I'll throw them out there for you. But try to do your best. AC Sports, I want to thank you. Good job, and I look forward to doing business with you, my friend. The young gun, the young slinger,
right, young
the Wizard of Oz,
the Rain Man of the
Yes, sir.
sports world.
Let's make some money for everyone. That's how we do it.
You know what? You've done it for free for a long time, and nobody could blame you for trying to make a couple. And it's not even that expensive. We're talking about $1 a day.
That's nothing.
I mean, you're still paying your college loans off, ain't you? You need a little some help. Then the kid's done well for himself, honestly. And it's a pleasure, and thank you for your time. And the show's winding down. So, AC, I'll talk to you later in the day. Tell all your friends about us, and this is going to be some good stuff here. So I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for having me.
No, always AC Sports, my friend. Thank you, pal. Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, the kid's sharp and
Jam-packed show.
Jam-packed in a short amount of time. What do we got? 35 minutes, and we're going to end it here in the next minute. Moses has been on good behavior.
Yeah, maybe he'll get the SAG card.
Yeah, he's still working on
see.
it. He should have had that.
We'll
a while
hang it
ago.
over
I'm
his
trying
head,
to hold
though.
him back. He's a little fluffy little fella.
Don't want him to
right?
get
A
too cocky.
Fluffy little fella. And then on Friday, I'll give out my Sunday play, my NFL play, or maybe it'll be Monday. But I've been doing that pretty well. Tune into my radio shows, DannyBWins.com. There's a radio show section there.
That's right. And your new Twitter handle is at DannyWins4, number 4, you.
For you. I follow one, answer to none, $1 a day. That's all I want to embed into your brain.
Boom.
Okay.
All right.
That's
it.
That's
it.
Anything else before we close, Andy? Do you have any roll-arounds or anything? I do the
yeah,
roll-around.
as always.
What did the fox say?
Finishers Jiu-Jitsu and all my 10th Planet Savages out there. Guys from Death Squad, anybody who's listening to the Church of What's Happening Now, we thank you for listening to our show. And
iTunes us too, bro.
That's
iTunes.
right. Yeah, iTunes. Subscribe to us on iTunes, and it's at Danny B Wins. No, it's at Danny Wins for you via Twitter.
There you go, my friends.
And then, as always, Danny B.
Again, real quick. Again, recapping. AC says take the Rams and the over tonight.
That's right.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Have a good weekend.